Well, hello everyone. Welcome to P.B.M. Vending. Today I'm going to take a little bit of time and give God some glory and some praise. We're going to call this video God-Sized Miracles. Now, I have known people that use the word miracles like most people use the term clothes. I don't. When I say miracle, I mean outside of the norm, the extraordinary, the thing that can't be explained without knowledge. And these have all happened in the last 60 days. And for those of you that follow Jesus, you know that after I do this video, I'm going to have a lot of stress and things go wrong in my life because Satan is going to screw with me. But you know what? God deserves the praise and glory, and I'm going to give it to him. I was praying about this the other night, and I was giving him thanks, and I said, I wish I could do more, but nobody wants to hear it. And he said, I never asked for a megaphone. All I ask is for a witness. I'm going to be the witness. The first one I want to talk about is about 5 years ago, I had a car wreck. They totaled my car, and I was just going to, get through it and go get a car and be done with it. Well, State Farm Insurance started screwing with me. It just so happened that the other guy that hit me had the same insurance company, State Farm. Did I say State Farm enough? I'm doing that on purpose. State Farm sucks, Ray. So anyway, I went to get an attorney because I felt like they were going to bend me over the barrel. And that attorney didn't do anything for 4.5 years. And I started praying about it, and God says, you're going to get another attorney. Well, I didn't want to tick off my current attorney, and I didn't want to look like I was going to jump ship on attorneys just at a whim by going to a different law firm. So it just so happened that one day in the mail, I got, like a month and a half ago, that this specific attorney was leaving the law firm and would I like for her to continue the case. I did not. I called the law firm. I said, I want somebody else from your law firm to deal with this. And they tried to talk me out of it, and I said, no, I insist. The guy that took over the case said, oh, I know their attorney. We've worked with each other for years. Let me make a couple of phone calls. He calls me back the next day and says, they've upped their offer. You're going to get X amount of dollars. And within 30 days, I had a check in my hand. Now, the second one I want to talk about is our investment in stocks. The only way I was able to make any money for the ministry for the last 10 or 15 years was taking out a personal note, putting it in an account, and letting the ministry pay it off over time. Well, I discovered Robinhood. And when I went back over and looked at the money, we're now investing $600 a month, $400 for me, $200 for the ministry every month on top of our normal money and we paid off the personal loan. Wow. Right after we started in the market, as a validation, we had invested $1,200, and 2 months later, we had made $400 profit. Now, only 3 weeks ago, God had told me, you need to get a blue chip, conservative, dividend paying stock. Take your profits and put them in there. Okay. So I did that. Now, that particular stock, I'm not going to buy any stock. It's only going to be when we take profits. Since the day that I did that for the ministry, the stock market has been down every single day. We've lost $150 in the last week. But our profits are secure in a blue chip company. Also within this time, for the last year and a half, as you well know, we've been on a journey building our vending routes with the candy machines. And for the last 2 or 3 months, every time I went to do a collection, something came up. I got sick. I was in bed. I had family issues. Something came up, so I couldn't go. So I prayed about it, and God said, I want you to give the route away. I was like, well, why would I do that? Why don't I just sell it? Because you're missing the point. The vending routes is not about making money. God said, I don't need your money. It's about ministry. Let's go do ministry. Let's give people an opportunity that don't have an opportunity to go make money. So we're going to do that. We've already got a commitment. I will be giving away the route. Now, I got to tell you, I have spent over $5,000 in the last year and a half on this route. Between machines, candy, placements, spare machines, $5,000. So this person's getting a lot. Because of my health issues, I work 2 jobs, and because of doing that, I'm on my feet a lot. And I have developed diabetic neuropathy in my feet, and it really hurts to stand on them. And so, by Saturday, I couldn't hardly walk because I had to work Friday night and all day Saturday. So Saturday was really torture, and Sunday was recovery day. And through a communication mishap, my boss gave my Friday nights to somebody else, and I was really upset because I need the money. And God said, don't worry about it, I got this. So I said, okay. Now, that's been months ago. I am the only part-time at this particular job that gets paid commission to sell certain things. And we've hit it every single month. That money made up for my lost wages. So my hours went down, my pain, although not eliminated, has gone way down. But my money has not, and God has watched over that. Hours down, paycheck up. Wow. And the last one I want to talk about is the house. I did a video on this, and if you want to know all the details, you can go or watch this, and it's called God's House. But the things that are involved in buying that house is absolutely unbelievable. At my previous full-time job, there was only one Christian in that whole place that I know of. And as I was driving by, I saw his name on a yard sign and a house for sale as a realtor, so I called him, and it was him. I made an offer on the spot. It was accepted. In the closing process, I got about a it was a $6,000 grant from the state. Not a second mortgage, not a you got to pay back, not a you got to hold on to it for so long. Just a $6,000 grant. The financing I got was really good at the time. The person I ended up renting it to turned out to be a deadbeat, and he's been living in there for almost a year. But you know what? God showed me how to get the forbearance, because I was not raised to have anything and not pay for it. And I wasn't going to do it. And remember, at the time, it was 14 days to flatten the curve. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, this could be 14 days. God said, no. Sign up for the forbearance, and I got this. Well, here it is almost a year later. He's still living there. He still hasn't paid a dime. He's a deadbeat. But I'd be in bankruptcy right now. If this hadn't been from God, I would have been in bankruptcy by now. Because I can't afford it. I just can't. Without income coming in, I can't afford it. So those are just some of the things that have happened in the last few months. I mean, with the stocks and the investments and the I forgot to tell you this one. So when we bought the house, the ministry mutual fund had $6,000 in it. Okay, and when we got the loan, God said, "I want you to take 2 and 2 out of the mutual fund. $2,000 for the down payment on the house, $2,000 for the checking account to get everything up and running." I said, okay. So that left $2,000 in the bank. And it really bothered me because I worked really, really hard to build that up for the ministry. So, but in my mind, I figured, well, you know, he'll pay rent and we'll get up and God will get his money back. Well, right after we closed, and I mean it, you know, we had no money, no income, no payment, but no income. And I just kept doing what I was doing. Then when we got our settlement check for our insurance, I was figuring out what I should do for it. And I said, well, 10% of this goes to the mutual fund, because I tithe on everything that comes in, and I tithe to the ministry. And God reminded me about the story of Abraham when they go back and him and the other kings conquer and go rescue all the people. And when they get back, they all give money to Abraham, and Abraham says, "I don't want your money or anything, because when I become wealthy, I want nobody to take any glory away from God. Whatever happens, happens because of God, not because of man." And he reminded me of that, and I thought, you know, I'm sure that over the years there have been times when money have come in that I've missed. I mean, I try really hard to tithe on everything that comes in, but I'm sure there's been little bits and pieces I've missed. So I was praying about it. I said, you know what, God, I think I'm going to add $500 just, and again, this in prayer, I was reminded of the story of Job, who sacrificed daily for his kids and their families, and he did extra just in case the kids had done something he didn't know about, just to cover them. And so that's what I did. I said, you know, I don't know of anything that I've missed, but just in case, I'm going to add $500. So I wrote the check, and I had to get a coupon off of the bottom of the last statement that I had gotten from them. And I looked at it, and it was exactly $4,000. And the check that I was writing was exactly $2,000. So that means less than a year, or well, a little bit more than a year after we took the money out to buy the house, God got all of his money back in his account with no income from man, no expenses on the house, but he got his money back. That ain't all, folks. We ain't done. We ain't done. We ain't done. A couple of weeks later, I get my statement from the mutual fund. Because the stock market has done so well, the balance in the ministry account is now $6,500. With no income from man, no rent, no expenses, but God gets all of his money back. Plus the money to invest in the stock market, which he made another $400 off of $1,200. Plus the money's a little over $1,000 sitting in the house account. Plus our normal money sitting in the regular ministry account. God is God and I am not. And anytime it comes to prayer or anything, God can do more with 10% of your income than you can do with 100% of your income. Remember that. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. When you hear people say things like that and you think, yeah, that's trite little sayings and good for you. I live it. I have lived it. And it amazes me every time I see it or think about it or watch it or am part of it. Living life that way makes it much, much more peaceful, which is something I've been praying for a long time. More peace, less stress, more God, less me. Well, there you go. God-sized miracles. Pray for them, work for them, live for them, enjoy them. Well, you guys have a blessed week and happy vending.